Jason Brooks, you're a director at WSP, but you also chair the EIC's Smart Cities Task Force, and I suppose importantly, you've just written the EIC's Smart Cities and the Environment Report. Very interesting presentation at the EIC's Annual Conference just now. You talked about air quality though, and recycling and carbon really being very good, but the battle isn't yet won. Can you just explain why do you say that the battle is not yet won?
Yeah, certainly. When you look at the targets that cities are aiming to achieve, whilst we're making great steps and strides with various measures being implemented, the targets are still remaining out of reach, and part of that is because the scale of the problem is growing all the time. So we're chasing something that is moving away from us.
Right.
And what it's demonstrating is that the existing approach is not sufficient on its own to allow those targets to be met.
So work to do there, but also you say around water. I mean, what did you find out about water?
Well, water's very interesting. We looked at one measure, which was leakage, and what we found is that cities just cannot even measure how effective they are or they aren't because of the way the industry is set. So industry is set around river catchments, water catchments, which are a real mix of cities and rural areas. So cities find it very hard to see how effective they are on water, and we need to improve that. We have the technology now to allow that to happen, but the way the industry is set up doesn't enable the cities to look at that data easily.
So lots about the environment there, but of course smart is the big word in it, and I suppose I must get back to the basics. What do you mean by smart?
Well, for us, we had to reduce it down, as you'd understand. So for us, smart was looking at the ability to capture data and to utilize that data effectively through technical innovation, digital technical innovation in particular, to see how that we can both monitor and implement action plans for environmental improvement.
And so I suppose the question then is, well, how can this smart technology help?
I think interesting, when we looked at it first, you'd have said 20 years ago, the first thing you'd need is to provide everybody in the UK with a computer that they carried with them.
Right.
That sounded fanciful 20 years ago. Now, of course, the phone is that. So what we have is the capability to provide that data real time to a much broader audience, to allow them to take measures, responsive measures, but we're not really providing that informational guidance at the moment. So the data's there, people aren't using it, people don't know what to do.
Which is why you say that at the moment the smart technology is having limited impact.
Exactly, I think it's really just the tip of the iceberg at the moment. The technology has got to where we needed it to get to, and in fairness, 10 years that wasn't the case. Now we need to make sure that it's implemented.
The drivers for that, is this a public driver, is it bottom up, or is it top down?
I think it has to be all. Fundamentally, it has to be all. Government's got a key role to play in making sure that data is captured and shared. One of the biggest problems is a lot of entities collect data but keep it to themselves. The second thing really then is making sure that we understand what are the challenges that we're trying to approach and the responses that we want people to take. Until we've got those clear, it's very hard for the individuals. Then it's down to the individuals.
So massive opportunities, but you also said that it isn't necessarily always the right solution. The smart technologies are not always the right solution.
No, I think as with any new technology, there's a rush to see it as the panacea. It isn't. I think we need to make sure we have a combined effort that uses traditional methods, but maximises the role of smart in that process. But it isn't just about smart alone.
You also finished by saying that it shouldn't be a politicised subject, but I suppose we are here talking about how to influence the next election. What should the next government be doing to drive forward smart technologies?
I think what they need to do is they need to make sure that the enablers are in place and the blockers are removed, so that the industry, government can all take its step in making sure that smart innovations are applied and implemented as fast as possible. There are many blockers to that at the moment. Government's got a key role to play in removing that, and I'm really hopeful that that isn't a party political issue. It is a political issue, but not a party political issue.
Jason Brooks, thank you very much. We'll all read the EIC Smart Cities and the Environment Report, I'm sure, and come to our own conclusions. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jason.
Cheers.